Let's begin with a structural overview. Welcome to another lecture. Today we examine Malik Tillman, a modern attacking midfielder whose path from Bavaria to the United States national team and back to the Bundesliga illustrates how contemporary football blends identity, contracts, and tactics. I'm Alexei, and we shall keep our feet on the ground and our data in order.
Hi, I'm Priyanka. I'm excited and also a little curious about how one player can be both a bridge on the pitch and between two national systems.
To frame our discussion, it's important to understand his role. In lay terms, an attacking midfielder is the bridge between the engine room and the goal mouth, part traffic controller, part locksmith. He receives the ball facing defenders. He turns. He plays the final pass or takes the shot. Think of him as the last span of a bridge that must carry both ideas and people across a river. If it flexes intelligently, the whole city moves more efficiently. Technically, Malik Tillman is a dual national of the United States and Germany. Born in Nuremberg in May 2002. Developed at Greuther Fürth and then Bayern Munich from 2015 onward. His positional identity is as an attacking midfielder in central or advanced lines, with a measurable output of goals and assists and a notable set-piece threat. Regarding terms, a one-time switch is a FIFA mechanism permitting a player with multiple eligibilities who has not been definitively cap-tied in competitive senior play to permanently change his national team. The DFB Pokal is Germany's primary knockout cup, historically a proving ground for rotations and debuts. A buyback clause is a contractual provision allowing a selling club to repurchase a player at a preset price. It preserves optionality when parting with high-ceiling talent.
So, in simpler terms, he connects midfield to goals. He could choose between two countries until he locked in his choice, and big clubs sometimes sell with a future coupon to buy him back if he blossoms.
Moving forward, why does this matter? Dual nationality now shapes roster construction. Federations compete not merely in tactics, but in talent diplomacy. Eligibility rules and contract clauses, such as options to buy, loans with obligations, and buybacks, interact with career timing. Misunderstandings arise when fans assume that a youth cap binds a player. It usually does not. Similarly, a loan option to buy is not a guarantee. It is a right subject to price, fit, and performance thresholds.
And I think we sometimes forget how identity and opportunity move together. A player's choice can be strategic, but also personal. And clauses can look cold until you see how they protect both sides from bad timing.
Let's start with the history. Tillman and his brother Timothy came through Fürth and joined Bayern's academy in 2015. Bayern promoted Malik rapidly. He debuted professionally with Bayern Munich 2 in June 2020 in a 2-0 win over Zwickau. The public record contains a minor inconsistency about whether he started and played 57 minutes or entered as a substitute. But the date and level are clear. He scored on his senior Bayern debut in the DFB Pokal in August 2021 against Bremer SV in a 12-0 win. Later that year, in December 2021, he made his UEFA Champions League debut as a late substitute versus Barcelona. Bayern's 2021-22 Bundesliga title and earlier Super Cup honors frame his early silverware. Speaking of international identity, he filed and received FIFA approval for a one-time switch to the United States in late May 2022. He debuted for the USMNT in June 2022 in a 3-0 win over Morocco. In club football, he joined Rangers on loan in July 2022 with an exclusive option to buy. He scored in a Champions League qualifier and in the league in August 2022. By season's end, He was PFA Scotland Young Player of the Year and in the Premiership Team of the Year, while Rangers were League Cup runners-up. The option was not exercised. He returned to Bayern, then moved to PSV Eindhoven on loan in August 2023, extending his Bayern deal to 2026 the same day. He scored on his Eredivisie debut in September 2023, added a Champions League assist in October 2023, and in May 2024, PSV triggered the buy option for roughly €12 million, with Bayern inserting a buyback clause near €35 million. The output followed. Following his PSV success, PSV won the Eredivisie in 2023-24 and again in 2024-25. Tillman's improved metrics delivered double-digit league goals in the latter campaign. He earned Team of the Month nods and the 2024-25 Team of the Season. Then came the market inflection. In July 2025, Bayer Leverkusen signed him to a 5-year deal for a reported €35 million, characterized as a club record-level fee, potentially joint depending on how add-ons for a contemporaneous deal are accounted. He scored on his Bundesliga debut in August 2025 in a 3-3 draw with Werder Bremen. Internationally, he contributed to the United States' 2023-24 Nations League triumph, then scored his first senior U.S. goals at the 2025 Gold Cup, a brace versus Trinidad and Tobago in June 2025 in San Jose, and another versus Haiti in June 2025 in Arlington. He was named to the tournament's best 11. Selected for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, he produced direct free-kick goals in consecutive knockout matches. First against Bosnia and Herzegovina at Levi's Stadium in July 2026, ending a 32-year U.S. World Cup free-kick drought dating to Eric Winalda. Then again versus Belgium in July 2026 at Lumen Field. In a family note, his father served in the United States Armed Forces in Germany. His mother is German, and his brother Timothy is a professional at Los Angeles FC.
It makes me wonder how often one player's set-piece skill can swing history. Those 2 World Cup free kicks feel like tiny levers moving very large machines.
To elaborate on why I care about cases like this, players who navigate dual nationality under public scrutiny model, for all of us, how layered identities can be reconciled with rational decision-making. We observe choices shaped by family history, competitive opportunity, and timing. This interplay is, academically speaking, a live laboratory of institutional design meeting human agency. This logically leads us to 3 large questions we will examine today. First, historically, how do dual national decisions like Tillman's emerge from FIFA's rules and precedent? Second, counterfactually, what might have unfolded had he continued with Germany rather than the United States? Third, prospectively, what is the future of dual national players as flows of people and data intensify?
I think the next thing we should talk about is the first one, the history. How did the rules make space for his decision? And were there earlier players who walked a similar path?
Big question 1. FIFA's eligibility regime rests on citizenship, ancestry, and residency, but its decisive hinge is cap tying. Youth appearances do not bind a player. Senior competitive appearances generally do. The one-time switch consolidates this into a clean, irreversible commitment for dual nationals, who have not been tied by competitive senior caps, or who meet specific criteria under updated statutes. Tillman's path, youth for both nations, senior switch to the United States in May 2022, debut shortly thereafter, accords precisely with the rule's intent, to allow a final alignment with the national project that best fits a player's identity and opportunities.
I'm curious about precedents that might help us compare. Who else used this pathway, and what did we learn from them?
We can infer several instructive examples. For the United States, Jermaine Jones moved from Germany via a one-time switch after the 2009 regulatory change. Julian Green switched from Germany and scored at the 2014 World Cup. Serginho Dest, having represented the Netherlands at youth level, executed his one-time switch to the United States in 2019. Yunus Musa elected the United States in 2021 after England youth caps, and Folarin Balogun filed his switch from England to the United States in 2023. Globally, Declan Rice moved from the Republic of Ireland to England in 2019. Wilfried Zaha from England to Côte d'Ivoire in 2016. Diego Costa from Brazil to Spain in 2013. The through line is that youth experience diversifies a player's tactical education. The final commitment is time to maximize senior opportunity and personal fit.
Building on that, was there anything unusually complex about Tillman's case, or was it textbook?
Arguably textbook. He had clear dual eligibility through birth and parentage, extensive youth involvement on both sides, and no senior competitive cap for Germany. The only complexity is sociological, balancing two football cultures. The speed from FIFA approval in late May to his US debut in early June 2022 indicates alignment between player and federation. No legal contortions were required. On to our next point. Big question 2, the counterfactual. What if he had not switched in 2022 and had instead pursued Germany? The German pool at his position is, as it were, densely populated. Jamal Musiala, Florian Wirtz, and Kai Havertz occupy overlapping creative and advanced roles, with Thomas Müller's institutional memory still lingering in tactical DNA. Pathway probability would have tilted toward more U21 mileage and episodic senior camps, fewer tournament minutes in the mid-2020s, and a higher bar for set-piece responsibilities.
So, yeah, moving on to the implications. Can we maybe now look at how his skills would be used differently? Like, would Germany have leaned on his free kicks the way the US eventually did?
In this context, usage is path-dependent. Germany historically assigns direct free kicks to entrenched takers with long club pedigrees. A young midfielder breaking that hierarchy is possible but unlikely without extended domestic dominance. With the United States, the marginal value of an elite deadball specialist is higher, and the queue is shorter. Hence the 2026 knockout stage goals. Tactically, Germany's current creative core emphasizes high-tempo combination play in half spaces. Tillman's ball carrying and pocket finding would fit, but minutes would be contested. With the United States, he became a node around which set-piece design and late-arriving runs could be organized sooner. The result difference is visible in tournament leverage. One path optimizes immediate influence. The other optimizes competition against a deeper internal cohort.
Maybe it's just me, but this also feels like a career market story. Would staying in Germany have changed his transfer valuation arc?
We observed that PSV's 12 million euros purchase, paired with Bayern's approximately 35 million euros buyback clause, effectively set an external benchmark. His US profile, Gold Cup goals, World Cup free kicks, added signal to that valuation. Had he remained in Germany's system without that international spotlight, his eventual price might still converge near 35 million euros if club output stayed high. But without those tournament proofs, time to market recognition could lengthen. Counterfactuals are not proofs, they are sensitivity analyses. Let's shift focus. Big question 3, the future of dual national players. Demographic mobility in elite academies will increase the pool. FIFA's rules will continue to balance clarity with compassion for youthful choices. Debates will persist around competitive integrity, identity, and late switches after limited senior caps. But the broader arc favors player agency within clear thresholds. National teams will invest earlier in relationship building, not just scouting reports. And set-piece specialization, as Tillman illustrates, will be a differentiator in tournaments where margins are thin.
What comes to mind next is the role of clubs. If clubs are optimizing loans and clauses, how does that spill over into international outcomes?
Clubs are effectively the research labs. Bayern's Pathway, Academy, Bayern 2, Cup Debut, Champions League Cameo, strategic loans to Rangers and PSV, permanent sale with buyback, illustrates a modular development model. It creates repeated high-leverage environments without overexposure. For national teams, the spillover is twofold. First, players arrive tournament-ready, having navigated pressure cycles in Scotland's title race, the Eredivisie's attacking demands, and continental group stages. Second, contract structures like buybacks and options can stabilize trajectories, reducing the noise of premature transfers. Methodologically, we still need longitudinal work that links clause architecture to international performance. But Tillman's case is a useful early data point.
Maybe that's something we can come back to later? Like a study on whether loan-to-buy plus buyback pathways increase national team minutes sooner compared to staying at a single club's bench.
In conclusion, Malik Tillman exemplifies the modern attacking midfielder as both tactical bridge and institutional case study. He scored on multiple debuts. He delivered back-to-back Eredivisie titles at PSV. He moved to Leverkusen for a record-level fee and scored on debut. He switched to the United States in 2022 and then ended a 32-year World Cup free-kick drought with 2 knockout strikes. We pose 3 questions: how history and rules shaped his decision, what a German pathway might have implied, and where dual nationality is heading. For those who wish to broaden the lens, examine dual nationality across other sports. The comparative method often clarifies what is uniquely football and what is simply human. This then completes our present analysis. Thank you for listening and good luck with your studies.
That was helpful to think through, actually. Thank you, Professor.